Harrison Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Gordon, if you could take the roll, please.
Russell Montgomery.
Here.
Seaberger.
Here.
Sonny Ross.
Here.
Bob Cox.
Here.
Joe Combs.
Here.
I'd like to invite everyone to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Has everyone had a chance to read over the minutes from the August 27th, 2024 meeting?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I have a motion to approve the minutes by Mr.
second
Ross,
it.
seconded by Mr. Cox. And the roll, please.
Russell Montgomery.
Yay.
Seaberger.
Yay.
Sonny Ross.
Yay.
Bob Cox.
Yay.
Joe Combs.
Yay.
We have no old business before the board. We have one case tonight. It's new business case number 1004, an appeal requesting of the administration by City Ordinance 1323.06, abatement by the Director of Zoning. We'll go over some of the details quickly here. Owner Lionel Bruce Randolph is in attendance tonight. The zoning appeal request by the homeowner is appealing the interpretation and enforcement of City Zoning Ordinance 1323.01, defining the site of 226 North State Street a public nuisance, and 1326.06, zoning official authorization to abate the nuisance. Is everyone familiar with the notes that Gordon had sent out? Okay, so I don't think there's any reason to read through all that again. It's quite a bit. Let's start with Mr. Randolph. Mr. Randolph, if you want to step up to the podium, I'll swear you in, and you can tell us your story. Raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Lionel Randolph, 226 North State Street.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Randolph. Go ahead and tell us why you're here tonight.
Well, I really don't know why I'm here. I got a notice in the mail. I've been working on my house, and I guess somebody complained or something. So after I got the letter, I went to People Working Cooperatively, signed up there. I was approved for getting the help. Then I went down there and tried to get a letter from them, finding out when they can start. Well, I've contacted two people there in person, and they said they have to email their boss, but for some reason I never got the letter. But it is approved that they're gonna come and help me, but I can't give you an answer on when. I have been working on it, it's just slow. What happened is, the fire happened, then they took a year, the company I hired took a year to come in there and tear the drywall out. And once they tore the drywall out, then they found termite damage. So an older home, you know, it had termite damage. Insurance company won't pay for that. So I don't have the money to hire somebody to do the termite damage, so I was doing it myself, and then, you know, I would have somebody come in and put the insulation and drywall and stuff like that up. So that's where we're at.
Okay. And the fire, is my understanding from the notes that we were given, was 5 years ago. Is that correct? Give or take, to your recollection?
And I think it was less than that.
June of 21.
June of 21. Okay, so coming up on 4.
But I contacted Hamilton County Building Department downtown, and they said that the building permit never runs out. You know, because I told them that Harrison had told me that I needed to do it more quickly, and they said, well, that's not true because there's no set time limit on it.
What's the permit from Hamilton County for specifically?
For the same thing I got from Harrison.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about going to them because everybody at Harrison doesn't seem to want to cooperate with me. So, but then, you know, nothing was said. I thought everything was hunky-dory. You know, I went and got the building permit, and I explained to them what went on. But obviously now we're here at this meeting.
Okay.
So-
Anybody have any questions or additional info that'd like
Was
to?
there a letter provided to you from whoever's helping you, that expresses any information to tell us kind of like what the time frame is at all? If you,
No, I went down there, they took, I'm on disability, so I gave them that information. They had to check it out. Then I went back there, and I think I gave the building department office the paper they gave me saying that I was approved. But when I went back down there, because they asked me at the building department if I could get a letter from them stating that they was gonna come and help and, you know, the date they're gonna do it, they can't give it to me because they said they have to find somebody to do the work.
So, so I actually spoke to people working cooperatively.
You did?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there may be some confusion as to what the scope of what they told me that they were going to do versus what you have told us that they were going to do.
Okay.
You obviously, all the applications that you submitted to us were all just that you qualify financially, which is great. That means that
That's all I could get
the
from them.
PWC can do that, right?
Yeah.
But none of that had any information, to Mr. Ross's point, about any kind of a scope of work or time frame. Speaking to the gentleman on the phone, he said this is not what they do. That they don't even intend to do your termite abatement because of the dilapidated nature of the house. They don't want any of their contractors anywhere near that house. It's ready to fall down. I visited the house the other day, walked around, walked through. That house is gone. There's no bringing that house back.
Well, I disagree with you. I mean, you know, I'm in my older years. I can't go out and buy another house. I owe on the house. I feel like it's my right that I can fix it and that, you know, nobody should be able to tell me what I should be able to do and shouldn't. You know, it says in the Constitution that we have a right, you know, for happiness. And if you come in and say, I can't fix it, you're destroying my happiness, and which I don't think is fair or right.
So I don't want to get into any type of what's making you happy or mad. Nobody's trying to make anybody mad here. We're going by the book here, and that's where
Yeah,
we
but
need to
the
stay.
problem
We need
is
to keep the emotion.
I paid on this house for years. I've gone through a divorce. And now, all of a sudden, because of some rule, I'm getting in trouble. And I don't understand the rule because I've done nothing wrong. I don't do anything criminal. I don't understand why I'm here. I feel like a criminal because I don't have enough money to fix it. And I disagree with you about the condition. Anything can be fixed. I used to do restoration work. Half of it is done, just about.
So from my guesstimation, I've been in the business. I've been in my own business for 25 years. I'm familiar with the construction industry. I have a civil engineering degree. I don't think you're going to be able to rebuild that house for what it would be worth. You would be putting yourself in serious financial, even further serious financial jeopardy to try and rehab that house.
Well, if I can do the work myself, it won't be a problem because I don't charge myself.
So what is the time frame for that then?
As quickly as I can get it done.
We can't have as quickly. We need a time frame. That's kind of where we're at.
I can't. 2 years?
no, it's been 4 years, right?
Okay, but 1 year you had to take off because the contractor I hired took forever to get in there and tear out the drywall. They took about a year. They kept firing people, getting new people in. I called them up. Nobody knew what was going on. So
It sounds like there's been a real disconnect. You made the phone call, we found out that there's certainly a disconnect between what you thought and what they were gonna do to try to help you out. You're in a position right now where, you know, you wanna do the work. I admire you for wanting to do the work, wanting to try to salvage the house, but there becomes an issue where, you know, at some point you have to say, it's been long enough and it's not salvageable.
yeah, but I don't think it's fair that you guys get to make that rolling. I paid on the house, I'm still paying on it, and I'm fixing it. Maybe it's not fast enough for what you guys like. Granted, I'll agree with you there, but I don't think it's fair for you guys to take any kind of legal action against me just for that simple fact.
Our
Mr.
chairman
Randolph,
asked.
I'm sorry, Sonny. Go ahead.
Okay. Chairman asked You say 2 years, he asked how long it would take, you're saying 2 years. Have we had any other assurances in the past about when this would be completed, or is this the first time? Gordon?
I think there's the first one, and if I can make a couple of points also. A permit is good if you continue to do work. But note that our permit fee section, it does say that if work is not completed within 1 year, that a new permit shall be obtained.
Have you
Okay?
been the one inspecting?
What's that?
Are you the one that went in and inspected to see what work's been done?
I would be the one. I have paid him a couple of visits. On one of the visits, I did note to him that some of the work does not look like it meets code, and it probably would have to be reworked. We have not even gotten to that point. In about July of '23, Mayor Nyer, we had a sit-down talk, and he granted him an extension of towards the end of the year for him to show some progress. And, you know, the progress, you guys can make your own determination of it all. We are finally to this point, but, you know, understand we also went through different director in my department, also a new mayor, so it's catching up with things. So the permit is expired, okay, due to our ordinance that says after 1 year, if work isn't done. And that, I think they probably put that in there just to probably make sure a project doesn't go on forever. They would like for it to be taken care of and be done, just so we don't have residents having problems there.
So the permit does expire, and it is expired.
Yeah, but when I talked to him before, he never said anything about the permit expiring, because after 1 year, I went down there and asked him about it. He said, no, it's no problem.
We had that discussion with Mr.
Wait a
Nyer.
minute, let me finish. When after I first had the fire, him and what's the other guy?
Rusty?
Yeah, Rusty. Them two seemed like they had a vindictive against me. They came down there after I had the temporary pole up and pulled the extension cords out of the temporary pole. He had called me at my sister's house where I'm living, and we got into an altercation because he said that I'm not allowed to leave the extension cords plugged in because no contractor does that. And I said, well, I'm not a contractor. They're down there telling me I'm living there, because when Rusty came down there to give me a paper that said I wasn't allowed to live there, I was sitting on a couch packing up stuff, and I did have the TV on watching the news. And he opens the door, oh, you're living here. You can't be living here. I don't know what in the world I did to these people. Then he tells me, after we had that discussion about the extension cords, and I wasn't going to unplug them every day, he tells me, well, just wait till I come in there and inspect it. So I feel like the building department has a vendetta against me.
No,
And
I would you just relax. It's fine. We're all here listening to you.
well, the reason I'm getting worked up, this is my whole life,
Oh, I
my house. Maybe you don't like the house, maybe you think it should be condemned, but it's my house. I worked my entire life to pay for this, went through a divorce, and now you guys are gonna tell me that I can't finish it, or that the permit, why did the downtown Hamilton County told me that the permit doesn't run out? I'm getting, they probably just changed the wording.
So, Mr. Randolph, let me ask you something. Did you have the house insured?
Yeah,
And where's the insurance money?
it's at the mortgage company.
The mortgage company's holding the insurance in lien
The check.
or in lieu of what?
Okay, I pay the mortgage every month, and there's a separate department there that has the check. And if I want more of the money, then I have to have them come out and inspect, and then they give out money. And he keeps saying that there's nothing been done, and there has. And the things that was wrong, I'll correct, that's no problem, you know. But he comes out and says, well, you did this wrong. And that's like, I can't, you know, that
Well, that's
just gonna
his
condemn it all.
job, Mr. Randolph. You just told us that you're not a contractor, and if you're trying to do it
Well,
yourself,
I'm
and it's
just
his job
telling
to
you,
protect
if he
you
finds
and to
something
protect the
wrong,
interests of the city.
I'll fix it.
So you have
It's
you have
fine.
insurance and you gotta pay out for insurance that's being held by the mortgage company. And are you doing work and then they're reimbursing you as you go along?
They're not reimbursing me, they're giving me, they got a separate, I guess, an account there with that money in
Why
it.
aren't you spending it to fix the house? Why aren't you spending it to fix the home?
Okay, because I contacted a couple contractors after the initial thing with the first company, and they refused to do it unless I let them do the whole job. Because I just wanted them to fix the termite damage. They won't do that. They want to do, and I don't have the money for
Have
that.
any of them said that it's too far gone to fix?
No, none of them. That's the reason why you're getting that picture is because they want to put it out because they don't want me to have my house because we got into an argument.
Now, the pictures are pretty clear, and like Chairman Montgomery said, there are things that certainly aren't code repairs.
Well, the house is 150,
Well, even
years old.
the new repairs.
I looked it up on the
right,
auditors.
right.
Yeah, some of the new repairs.
I just think that I feel like nobody's working with me. Everybody wants to cut me down and tell me I'm not doing work or it's too slow. Well, let me ask you a question. If I went and got a building permit from Hamilton County, would we be here?
Yes, we would, because the
Because I
house
can
is in the
get
city
one
of
from
Harrison.
them. They told me that I could go down there and get one from them.
No,
That's what they told me over the phone.
no, it's not their jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's,
They said that it doesn't matter. They said if you're having problems, that we can give you one.
No,
Well, that's what they told me.
Gordon, has anybody like inspected the seal or this steel plate here where the floor joists are running across?
No.
it, or-
no. And what things I might have said to Mr. Randolph was to advise him so he is not wasting money to make sure, those kind of things are pointed out.
right.
And I agree with them. I told them I would fix that. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is I'm a law-abiding citizen of the United States, and I feel like I'm being railroaded by Harrison because you guys are all coming down on me.
Right, Mr. Randolph, there's no question that you are a good man, you were in a bad spot, and we don't want to step on you when you're down, okay?
But
It's
I
gonna take
feel
a
like
minute
that.
to try and think through how we're gonna come to common ground here, because you've got an albatross on your hands down there, and the city is required to take, we're not going after you, but there are other residents, your neighbors on either side, your neighbors across the street, people who drive up and down there. It's been a while. It's been 3 years, 3+ years.
I'm not denying that.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Well, I just
I know
don't
it's
want you to
been a
feel.
while.
I don't want you to feel like we got our foot on your throat. That's not why we're here
Well,
tonight.
I just think that living in a free country, this is not free because I just simply.
But even in a free
What
country,
I'm-
there are rules.
Here's how I feel. I'm guilty of not having enough money, and that
Well, you have the money. You
guys
said the
wanna come
insurance
down on
company.
me.
Yeah, if you
Mr. Randolph, the insurance company has the money for you. We need to get the ball rolling. Does that sound correct?
We need to see progress on this property because it is, obviously it's a safety concern.
But,
Apparently there are
but
people
wait
going
a
in
minute,
there.
when you say progress, there is progress on it, but it's, you have your opinion and I have my opinion. That's all this boils down to is opinion. And what I'm saying is, you guys as a group are like, you got like 5 against me. And my recognition of progress is what I'm doing. Yours is like, hey, this guy, he ain't doing enough.
But that's,
So,
their
so
property-
this is the rules right here. This isn't us people right here. These are the rules that have been written for a long time.
But why am I
These are
here?
the rules that we swore to uphold and to follow, and that's why you're here. Is because we're just trying to uphold the rules. Now, are we trying to put you down? No. Are we here to try and help you? Maybe, but you keep
Okay.
telling us that we're against you.
Okay.
We're not.
Well, I said I feel like you're against me.
Okay,
No,
well,
the
let's
property could get.
try and work together here.
They get condemned all the time, and there's gotta be a decision made about when is it time to condemn a property. And,
Well, I disagree.
but they do, that's just.
So,
No, I
so
disagree
you
on
said
my
you
property.
said 2 years. That's too long. We need, if we're gonna make a decision on helping you out here, it has to be very quickly. And I'm talking probably full set of drawings submitted,
Already got
correct
that.
permits.
Already got that.
Everything's expired.
Okay, well, can I just renew it?
May I ask a question? You're making still a mortgage payment on the house, is that correct? Okay. If you were to sell the lot, what happens to the insurance money? What would the
Well, it
insurance
would have to be, the loan would have to be paid off with it.
Okay.
Right, the loan goes first, and then that money should be yours.
Well, there wouldn't be none left.
It depends on how much the insurance paid and what it would
I
cost to
know
tear
what
it
they
down.
paid. There's not
Have you had
enough
any-
money, there's not enough money to pay the mortgage off. Not completely.
I mean, it's here and there, but we all carry insurance so that we're made whole if something like this happens.
But here's my problem. I agree. But if you have something happen to your house, a fire, and they find termite damage, it's not covered. That's where I'm getting at. You keep saying that I have insurance. Yeah, for the fire damage and the water damage, not the termite damage.
And that's what stalled your first contractor, am I correct?
But it stopped it completely because I told them I don't have the money for that, you know, to do the whole job with the termite damage. And they said, well, we can't do it. You know, they're not going to do it free.
And you're doing the remedial repairs on your own. Have you addressed anything relative to the termite damage?
Yeah, yeah. There's no termites there. They're all dead.
Okay.
Because if they was there, they got frozen.
And I think that's the issue. He's trying to remediate, he's trying to make repairs, obviously, where there's termite damage.
And I don't understand why I can't repair my house. It's my business.
It's in a timely fashion, and I think, tonight we're gonna make sure.
That is an opinion.
You said your address is 226. Where are you actually living right now?
Right now, I live like right behind Wall Greens and I live with my sister.
I appreciate your circumstances. I think you're in a position where you're just in a very tough situation. You don't want to lose your property. You want to have an opportunity to make the repairs that you need to make. We're here to make sure that we, you know, because of, you know, the condition of the property, the neighbors, how people may feel about this safety.
Did the neighbor complain?
Well, I'm just saying that obviously there are people that are going in there and, you know, the property's open.
Who's
So,
going in there?
Neither
Nobody's
here nor there.
going
At
in
this
there.
point, we're here to give you an opportunity because, I mean, hopefully give you an opportunity. That's probably gonna be my suggestion, to get the property repaired in a timely manner.
Well-
And I think the question is, how much time
Yeah.
extra now do we give him? If we're willing to entertain that.
Or is it amount of time to find assistance as far as a group that will help?
Right.
Is there anybody you could recommend that you know of? That this is within
Church
their-
group, maybe, I don't know,
Yeah, local.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that you're gonna find anybody who's gonna wanna touch that project with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
And if an outside firm helps, they still need a game plan that they need to present.
Right.
You know, how soon could they get it done? You know, we gotta have parameters on everything.
I know this has been going on for a long time. I know that there's been chances and chances and chances and chances and chances. But I'm willing to give you one more shot. But it's go time, if that makes sense to you. We gotta get
Well,
this thing.
I mean, you're sitting here saying it's go time. It's been go time from number one. I'm not the fastest person in the world.
That's all right. We don't expect this all
Okay.
out of you. We're not putting it on you. But we need to find a contractor who will take on your project, and then we need a solid plan to have progress.
Like I said, I tried to do that. I'll try again, but one of the reasons it didn't work with trying to find a contractor, because they come in there and they're like, well, what needs to be done? And I'm like, well, anything with termites. And they're just like, well, this ain't a job for me then, because I don't know, you know, you fix A, B, and C, then you're done with the job. It's not like that, because he could come in and say, hey, you didn't do A right, or, oh, it's an old house, and this framing isn't up to code, so we need to have them come in and fix it. Because a lot of the things he's been telling me is that the framing that's there, which was done a long time ago, isn't up to code. And, you know, he's already got a vendetta against me.
Right, so no, it's not a vendetta.
Oh, you wasn't on the phone with them.
But what
Him
I'm
and
saying,
Rusty got it against me.
They're just doing their job.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They got a vendetta.
okay, all right, that's enough.
Okay.
All right, so are we willing to give, Mr. Randolph some more time under specific parameters?
May I ask a few more questions?
Absolutely.
The extent of the termite damage, was that really serious or minor? Any 1888, I'm sure there was some
Yeah.
termite damage.
It was, I mean, I think it was a combination of water damage and termite damage. It was on the bottom of a majority of the studs, and then your rim boards and beams, you know, there was a situation like that.
It's structural.
Structural
Yeah,
members.
yeah, and of course,
And I
you know,
have half of that done.
when they opened things up, of course, there was noticeable things where, you know, someone might have done an alteration in the past, or, you know, whatever. It's just,
Every
we
time
look at it as, my job is not cosmetic. Otherwise, nothing would ever get passed in the city. It is strictly structural and safety. That's what I'm looking at.
But every time he comes out, it's something different. It's, this framing is not right. That framing is not right.
Right,
And I
that's why
didn't do it.
you need to have a qualified contractor who knows what they're
No,
doing.
no, this is old framing.
It doesn't matter.
well,
Once he
I'm
comes
just
in, it
telling you,
has all has to be up to code.
I think it's just because he wants to make it super hard on me.
No, that's not
because
true.
we had an argument.
What if he lets you move into that house and it's unsafe and that house falls down?
I didn't live in it. Okay.
He's there to protect you and the community.
Gordon, back in the day, they would do 2x4s or what, true by 4s all the way up to the roof line, as I recall. Does the code now require them to put fire blocks at every story?
Yeah, fire blocking would be between each
And
story.
you've got the drywall off anyway, so
Yeah.
that,
Once a wall is opened up,
yeah.
it has to
the
conform.
Okay.
Okay.
And so, I mean,
But the only thing I'm worried about is, okay, say it gets done, especially if I hire a contractor in, and I have to pay him all this money, and then he comes in and says, nope, you gotta do this, this, and this.
So it
I'll
start-
never be done.
It starts with a qualified contractor who knows what they're doing to avoid that. But again, if somebody goes in there and Gordon comes in and says, this
I
isn't
can't
right.
hire a qualified contractor because none of them will come because they don't know exactly what to do.
I think we're circling back to where we
yeah.
started from here is maybe a little light on, I don't think you're gonna find anybody who wants to mess with that house.
now the thing is, I've dealt with termite damage in properties that I've owned. Russell, I'm sure you've seen it a lot in your business. Contractors come in and they can fix those things. It's not like it's unfixable stuff. It's things that.
I'm not saying it's not, but what I'm saying is, let's say termite damage is fixed. He comes in and says, hey, this framing over here, it isn't right. Then I need to fix that. Oh, that framing over there isn't right. And the house, I believe this gentleman said was built in 1888. None of the framing is probably right.
Understand, like, number one, like I said, once everything is opened up, it has to be proper. Number two,
Well, I can't rebuild the house.
I can go to a Drees home right now and do a brand new home inspection and find 10 things they gotta correct.
My house isn't a
That's-
dream.
That's
It's
what
an
happens.
old house.
But it could be a brand new home in which they have to make corrections. I
Obviously,
have to point that
he's gonna
stuff
come
out.
back in and he's gonna tell me these things need to be fixed because he don't want me to get done with it.
I think
That's how I feel.
All right,
I think
Mr.
we're-
Randolph, thank you for your time. You can take a seat. We're gonna discuss.
Okay.
And if we have any other questions, we'll address you directly. Thank you. I think we're coming back to the circle here. If we give him time, he says he cannot find a qualified contractor. Do we still give that time? I say sure.
Give the time, it's giving you an opportunity, but you're gonna have to do what you need to do.
Right. right,
or find assistants
right,
that
exactly.
would do volunteer work.
Thank you. So a reasonable timeline to find a contractor, get a set of plans, get it submitted, get the ball rolling.
And
And
how
a
do we
signed
want to,
contract
we want to track
with this
progress?
contractor.
We'll make sure that all that is covered as far
So
as.
how do we,
business.
so if we do 12 months, how do we track progress to make sure that we're moving?
Well, I think it's gonna be a certain deadline where all the things have to be submitted to the building department. That will be the deadline. And then from there, then the building department just takes over like they normally would.
Okay.
If I may suggest,
Yes, please.
timetable, maybe first is, timetable when something can be submitted to you guys, to make your decision. Whether it's a contractor, some sort of volunteer group or whatever. Then you need to set your schedule as far as progress, whether it's
Okay.
house enclosure, finishes or whatever, but
And we could set it maybe like 3 months, we check. Once we get to that point, we're at that time, we've got a contractor thing, everything's moving along, we can say, okay, we want to see, look in 3 months, we need to be here.
Well, then he's under the building department code anyway, so. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Randolph, do you have any pending, appointments in the next couple months that would hinder you from searching for a qualified contractor or securing the funds needed to hire that contractor? Do you have anything on your calendar that would keep everyone going? All right. So we are right now at February 25th. I have 60 days in my mind. I think that's entirely reasonable, 2 months to at least come back to us and say, hey, I found somebody, or hey, I didn't find somebody. I think that's reasonable. Any agreement,
Yeah,
disagreement?
just to get to the point where yeah. So I'd make a motion to give Mr. Randolph 60 days to secure a contractor or assistance in order to get this project rolling and then address.
We have a motion on the floor, but I'd like discussion. Do you think 60 days is long enough?
do you think you should coordinate it with one of your meetings on a fourth Tuesday?
Yeah, yeah. So that can be the date. So we are 25th. April would be 1, 2, 3, 4, would be April the 22nd. Okay, Sonny, do you want to amend your? Sure. To say April 22nd.
Okay, I'll make a motion to give Mr. Randolph until April 22nd, 2025 to come up with a contractor or assistance to show, to begin a plan.
To show the board that he's moving forward.
So you're making a motion. You're gonna make a motion to table this until then?
Yeah,
So we'll have to do that, we'll probably do that first, yeah.
yeah, you want me to table it first? Okay.
So
I'll strike that.
strike the motion.
Let's go ahead, I'll make a motion to table.
Okay, you're making a motion to table the request for variance for tonight and push it out 60 days.
Yes.
That date will be, you gotta mention the date.
April 22nd, 2025.
Want me to restate it? Are you good?
Patchwork quilt.
You can go ahead and make that motion to table with the conditions.
Okay, I'll make a motion to table the issue with, the condition to meet on April 22nd, 2025 to see the progress.
Do we have a second?
Are we gonna specify what the progress is?
That's a good idea.
You
Think that we
do
should-
not know what the
don't know
progress
until
is
we-
until you know if this is gonna go forward or not.
So I think that motion's probably about as good as we can get it right now.
Okay.
All right, still entertaining a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Combs. Gordon, take the roll.
Russell Montgomery,
Yay.
Steve Berger,
Yay.
Sonny Ross,
Yay.
Bob Cox,
Yay.
Joe Combs.
Yay.
Okay, Mr. Randolph, do you understand what just happened there?
Got a question.
Sure.
Okay, so if I get a contractor and they come in and do the termite dam and get the sheeting up, is that considered progress then?
Well.
I won't be able to have the whole job done.
No, what we're asking you is to come back here within 60 days by the April the 22nd, 2025 meeting, which is 60 days from now, and show us, look, guys, I've got to turn my contractor, I got this guy in line, I got this guy in line, we're ready to go. I don't want you to go in there and hang drywall before anybody sees anything in there, or you're going to be turning back out. Okay,
I went
okay,
and got the permit.
okay, okay,
I'm not gonna do that.
okay.
We're just giving you time to get.
Right,
things
all
in
it's
order.
saying is you got 60 days to get your ducks in a row.
And if this doesn't happen, what's gonna happen?
We'll reconvene and have the same conversation again. I don't know.
And is this, I'm gonna have to pay again?
No.
Have this meeting again?
No, this is a continuing
Okay.
yeah.
of the meeting.
Right. So this has been officially, it's been tabled, which just means we're going to revisit it in the future.
Is there any way I can call one of these and give you the progress, or that don't work that way?
No, you can call the building department, let them know what's going on, and then Sonny can. Yeah, Sonny. He's not your enemy. He's doing his job. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Everybody happy with that? All right. With there being no further business before the
Yes.
board, or is there? Organizational?
For you.
Are we closing it to organizational?
It should be a part of the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Randolph, you're free to go if you'd like.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Have a good night.
Good luck to you, sir.
Hope to hear from you within 60 days. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't ask any of our visitors if they would like to speak. I know Miss Wee Wee has already said no.
We're out of practice.
I'm only giving you 3 minutes. 3, 5, 3 is argument, rebuttal, argument.
I just know I've been walking almost twice a day past that property.
Yeah, well,
We get complaints.
It's not a
Yeah.
good look for someone's coming in off the interstate, getting off on two to drive through Harrison. When the Indiana side looks better than the Ohio side because it's been, doesn't see too often.
And our homeless people have been in there a few times.
that's not the way the board felt tonight. No. I think what we did tonight was due diligence. In 60 days, we're going to be back here again, and we're going to tell them to tear it down. Yeah. That's what it is.
It gives him a chance to we're giving him a shot.
If he can't afford to tear it down, I mean, it'll go on his, the city pays for it and it goes on his taxes, right?
City would knock it.
If he doesn't act, the city will contract someone to take care of it, and then they'll lien the property.
Be a tax thing,
There is,
right,
Yep,
right.
yes.
Do we need to, like, have people speak or sign in?
I'm gonna, well, technically we should, I guess. All right, let's talk about this afterwards.
on the auditor's website, it lists the property value at $28,710. So you could probably, I would presume, sell that to someone and they would tear it down.
Well, we don't know what he bought it for. He
Those
could have bought it
No,
for
I don't
60
either. I
or
don't either.
something, you know?
He says he owes on it.
Yeah.
He said he's disabled. He's gonna have a tough time if he's trying to do this himself.
Well, somebody on this board might know somebody who may call him, so we'll see where that goes.
Yep.
All right, we need to get to our organizational meeting.
Any changes?
This is the part where we nominate Russell, right?
I second the motion.
I will say that I don't mind staying here. It will continue to help squash any rumors that I will ever be on council.
You might, you never know.
If you guys will have me, I would love to continue on unless anybody feels strongly about it. I have no objections. Any of you guys are all fantastic. You would have no problem leading this board.
I have no problem, going ahead and nominating you to be chairman of Board of
I
Zoning
second the
Appeals.
motion.
Gordon, if you take the roll, please.
We don't need a rule on that.
Can I vote no for myself? I'll abstain. In the same vein, Sonny, I think you are doing a fantastic job. If anybody else would entertain the VP or want to raise their hand. Bob?
No, I'm fine.
I would like to
Alternates and
nominate
leadership.
Sonny Cox as the VP.
Well, second.
Seconded by Mr. Combs. No roll.
I noticed everyone showed up because they were gonna be voted.
That's right. I thought it was gonna be him.
I came all the way back from
Mr.
Mexico.
Mexico was about to be the new chair of the board. You were this close, buddy. A Frontier flight gets canceled, you're the chairman.
I appreciate it, gentlemen.
All right, well, okay, so now with no further business before the board, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Cox,
I second it.
seconded by Mr. Berger. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Meeting closed.
Oh, man, so.
Expect a couple more.